Cacao production has been around for centuries and is an important part of the global economy, with the global cacao and chocolate projected to grow to $68 billion in 2029. In this video, we will explore the complexity of producing cacao beans, covering everything from the different cacao variety to the processes in harvesting and fermentation. Let's start with some facts about cacao. The majority of cacao production takes place in West Africa, with the Ivory Coast and Ghana being the two largest producers. Cacao, or Theobroma cacao, is a tree native to the upper Amazon region and is source of cacao beans, which are used to make chocolate and other products such as cocoa powder and cocoa butter. Cacao trees can grow up to 8 meters tall and can find almost anywhere in the tropical belt, which is around 23 degrees north and south of the equator. The cacao tree can produce up to 100,000 flowers per year, which grow only on the big branches and trunk of the tree. These flowers develop into cereals, which are small green pods containing 30 to 50 seeds. It takes 5 to 6 months to develop into mature pods. Cacao trees are prone to many diseases and pests, such as animal damage like rat, monkey, and birds, and various fungal infections like witch's broom and black pod. The resulting losses in yield can vary from 20% to 50%, depending on the species and level of care given. Cacao has traditionally been classified into three main varieties: Criollo, Forastero, and Trinitario. However, following the discovery of cacao genome and DNA by Motamayo and his team in 2008, at least 13 genetic types of cacao have now been recognized, and this list is constantly growing. Nowadays, the main cacao varieties are Criollo, which is the ancient Mayan and Aztec cacao. It is the rarest and the most expensive variety, with its very delicate flavors and known as the champagne of cacao. Criollo is vulnerable to disease and produces smaller pods, making it more challenging to cultivate. Unfortunately, there is only 3% or less of Criollo variety in the world, and mostly not genetic pure. Amelonado is the most widely cultivated cacao, especially in West Africa. It is the variety mainly used in the mass-produced chocolate we consume, and is famously known for its lack of flavor and complexity. The Amelonado cacao variety is known for its high productivity. For instance, it's 4 times more productive than the Criollo variety. Amelonado is less susceptible to disease, resulting in fewer losses through the farming process, making it more resilient crop. Nacional is a variety found in Ecuador, also known as Arriba, and northern Peru, possessing floral notes but only growing under certain terroir. Cacao beans can come in a variety of sizes, shapes, surfaces, and colors. Common colors range from green to purple, and shapes can be small, long, round, or elongated. We are really just beginning to understand the complexity of cacao varieties. Check out how cacao variety and genetics shape the distinct flavors of chocolate in one of our other videos. Cacao production is a labor-intensive process, with most of the work being done by hand and on a small scale. To begin the process, the cacao pods are harvested using a machete or a special knife attached to a long pole to reach the higher branches. There are usually 2 main harvests around May and November, depending on the region. When chocolate makers pay for quality cacao, only perfectly ripened pods are harvested. So harvesting can take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, as they do not all ripen at the same time. On the other hand, when chocolate makers prioritize quantity over quality, the harvesting period is shortened and uneven, which impact the flavor development of the cacao beans. The pods are cut open, revealing a white pulp covering the seeds. The majority of this pulp is removed through manual labor. Different fermentation methods exist among heaps, baskets, trays, platforms, and boxes. In West Africa, heap fermentation is mainly used. The fresh seeds, still with their white pulp, are put into a pile and covered with banana leaves. This helps to keep the beans moist and warm, which is essential for the fermentation. Some farmers turn the beans after 2 or 3 days. The larger plantations utilize the box fermentation method. Wooden boxes are made with holes commonly in the base to provide air circulation and enable liquid generating during fermentation to escape. The beans are transferred daily from one box to the next for more aeration and consistent fermentation. The beans are left to ferment for a period of time, typically between 2 to 6 days, depending on the cacao variety and method. No matter what technique is employed, it is essential to guarantee uniform fermentation, which will influence the flavors of the bean. Many factors influence this wild fermentation, such as the method, duration, environment, pod storage, and cacao variety, leading to significant differences in the quality of cacao. During the drying stage, the moisture of the beans is reduced to a safe level of 7 to 7.5% to prevent over-fermentation and mold contamination. However, beans must be not over-dried. Moisture content below 6% can result in brittleness and cause handling and processing problems. Drying also helps reduce bitterness, astringency, and acidity, as well as developing a characteristic brown color. When the weather allows, beans are typically sun-dried. Farmers employ various sun-dried techniques such as commercial, home, or roadside drying, depending on the compensation they receive. For the commercial drying, the beans are spread out during the day on mat, trays, table, or terraces, and then piled up and covered at night when it rains. For home drying, the beans are spread out on the floor and protected, and these create a high health and safety risk, as animals may just eat or wander among the beans. As the name suggests, for road drying, the beans are spread out directly on the road. Unfortunately, roadside drying is very common and can result in off flavors such as gasoline and rubber notes. Sun-dried cacao presents the best flavor profile. However, it is a delicate process as the beans must be protected from direct sunlight to avoid burning, aerated to allow even evaporation of moisture, and safeguarding from pests. Where the weather may be too wet, particularly in Asia, artificial drying is used such as smoke dried, which leads to off flavors such as smoky, ashtray, or plastic notes. Not to be confused when companies like Soul Kiki intentionally smoke their chocolate to change its flavor profile. Once again, when it comes to drying cacao beans, quality is often put aside in favor of quantity. This means that the drying process is often speeded up, resulting in uneven drying, overly acidic taste, or mold growth, leading to off-putting flavors. Sadly, most of the mass-produced chocolate we eat are made from this moldy cacao. The quality of the cacao beans is a crucial factor in the production process. Poorly grown or harvested beans can result in a lower quality product. In addition to the quality of the beans, proper processing is essential for developing the desired flavors. To ensure the highest quality, chocolate makers must pay cacao producers a fair price based on the quality, not quantity. This ensures mutual respect and encourages the production process and labor practices are fair, sustainable, and ethical. The idea is that chocolate makers cannot make the best chocolate without the best cacao, and the farmers must receive a decent price for their work to make this possible. Cacao production is an intricate process that requires a great deal of skill and knowledge. From harvesting to fermentation to drying, each step of the process is essential in order to produce the highest quality cacao beans. With the right knowledge, expertise, and fairness, producers and chocolate makers can create high-quality products that will satisfy even the most discerning chocolate lover. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!